Hello, it is Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Tuesday crossword today, which means we're going to be solving a fairly approachable early week puzzle. And I'm extremely short on time today, so it won't be a speed solve, but I'm going to try and solve this briskly. And this brisk edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Caroline Springer, Matthew Drake, and, as always, the indomitable Showmaster, the incorrigible Sheila Beeler, the indefinable Charlie Paget, and the indecipherable Ray Grant. Thank you so much to the four of them benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign for their generous support. They do, of course, sustain this channel, keep it going day in, day out, and for that, I'm very grateful. Thank you to those four and to everybody who supports the channel by any means on the Patreon campaign or any other means, any other way, like the subscribing on YouTube. And you can find the bonus videos at patreon.com/dailysolve or via the description field link. You'll find there as well the official mug for benefactors like those six I mentioned. And you know what? Let's just get right on to today's crossword because I really don't have much time. This is a debut construction by Lindsay Rosenblum. Welcome to them. And it was edited once again by Joel Faliano. It's a Tuesday puzzle. It will have a theme, and let's start solving. No longer taking as a medication. You're off of it, I guess. You're sort of off of that medication. I was going to say off it, but you wouldn't say I'm off it, that medication, but you would say I'm off of that medication. Let's see if of works. British reference work, yes. The Oxford English Dictionary, the OED. Not pass. Fold, like in poker or something? I'm not sure. Or soju is the national drink. That's Korea. So, okay, so it's not fold. I didn't think it was going to be, but not pass. Oh, fail, right? That's in a test. Sorry, I don't know. Yeah, once I got myself onto the wrong idea, I had trouble thinking of the more obvious answer. Match.com alternative. Oh, OkCupid. I feel like you don't hear about that one as much anymore, but there we go. It's a dating website. All right. Visa for one. Credit cards, a credit card processing company, and issuer, I guess. No, I guess the banks are the issuers. Visa is a credit card sort of processing network. Anyway, a realtor's sign might say for sale on a house that's being sold or an apartment or something. Take advantage of is to use somebody or something. Furry feet are paws of an animal. Airport amenity. Free Wi-Fi would be pretty common these days in an airport. And, okay, that wasn't totally true. I lied, you might admit. Witnessed. If you've witnessed something, you've seen it. To triumph over is to defeat somebody. So there we go. Some bottled waters. So I guess this is a bottled water brand in this case. Dasani's. So the bottled water brand would be Dasani. So some of them, I guess, could be Dasani's. To pull on something could be to tug it, to pull it towards you. One might be found at a roast. So I assume this doesn't mean like a meal, but rather a roast, an insult, insult, like a roast when someone's being insulted in good humor by those who love and appreciate them. What would it be? One might be found at a roast. An insult an insult comic. For some reason, I thought I had 4 letters to work with, but I have 5. So that fits. So an insult comic, someone whose act is insulting people. Ray, who helped globalize McDonald's. Ray Kroc was, I didn't see it, but I think there was a documentary about Ray Kroc called The Founder, maybe about, I could be misremembering, but I believe that's the case. Competition. I'm not sure. And thief at work in a bustling crowd. A pickpocket. So what do I think the theme is? We've got insult comic and pickpocket. I don't know. Credit card, it looks like, yeah. Credit, pick, insult, card, pocket, comic. I don't know. Can't quite see what's going on there. Pet tracking device. A chip of some kind. An ID chip, maybe? Dance style with shuffles and buffaloes. Tap dance, probably. And here we have la-di-da phrase, a sort of lackadaisical phrase. Anti-trafficking agency would be the Drug Enforcement Agency, I think. And what a light bulb represents in cartoons would be an idea. Here's a physically you hear here in this place, your ear, and it rhymes, which is nice. For something to make sense, it would add up. And then overwhelmed by hilarity, hyperbolically speaking, you might say, I'm dead, to indicate that you've been slain comedically. Still awake after midnight, say, you're up late, I suppose. Sweet in Italian would be dolce. And style of San Francisco's Coit Tower informally. That's a really great Art Deco tower, which has painted around it some great Roosevelt era sort of like WPA era socialist murals. Uncreative studio project, perhaps. A remake, I see. So like a film studio is what this is referring to. So an uncreative film studio project might be a remake. There we go. Okay. And a winning blackjack hand would be ace 10, right? There we go. That'll add to 21. A trio of trios would be trios of trios, plural, sorry, are nonettes. So a nonette would be a group of 9, so 3 groups of 3. If you led a meeting, you ran it, and a foreboding sign would be an omen, an ill omen, perhaps. If one loudly laments something, one keens. So I don't encounter this word in common usage very often, but it does mean that. Let's see. Yeah, and that holds with this. Gotta Catch 'Em All game series is Pokemon famously must ensnare everyone. Don't think so. Nope, maybe. And competition would be something. What about this? Favor precursor. Oh, no, it's not. This is a clever way of disguising some Spanish. So it's not a precursor to favor. It's a precursor to favor. So por favor in Spanish, please. Okay. And then competition would be a contest. There we go. Pulitzer winning writer James, I always forget if it's Agee or Agee. Agee, I think it is. But there we go. That's certainly the answer. And actress Jeffries of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I'm not familiar with this. I think I've seen this book in bookstores occasionally. I don't even think I knew that it was adapted into either film or television. So I don't know who this is, unfortunately. But we have a Nile reptile, would be an asp. So there we go. That's something. So Olea, maybe? Leah could be the answer. Let's see. Modern combat athlete. Oh, yeah. Fighter, probably. A MMA fighter, I bet. Okay, so interesting. So fighter, comic, pocket, card. Is there a word that goes after each of these or before them or something? I don't know. I can't think what the theme is. Dodge Charger, e.g. Is that a sedan? Yeah, I guess it is. A 4-door car. Like words written in ink by a lefty often. Smeary, because unfortunately for lefties, we write from left to right. So your left hand is can be smearing it as you go. Ruler's realm is an emirate, maybe? Or I was thinking, an emir rules over an emirate because we're starting with EM, but doesn't fit. Oh, an empire. There we go. Okay. Is that the same root? Probably. Revolted is, I don't know. Oh, man. Darn it, maybe? Up to this point would be yet. It hasn't happened yet. Hasn't happened to this point. Oh, this doesn't look right. Maybe this isn't empire. Steely determination. Oh, no. Grit. This isn't smeary. It's smudgy. Okay, same idea, but different answer. So steely determination is grit. There we go. Shape for a child's chicken nugget informally. Oh, a dinosaur. You might have a dinosaur-shaped chicken nugget, I guess. And then revolted, uprose. I see. So there was a rebellion and an uprising. And then if something's underway, like this crossword solve, it's afoot. All right. Medieval tales of daring adventure are jests. sort of exploits of a knight, maybe. All right, here's our theme. To show interest on a dating app, or what 16, 25, 36, and 51 across must do to be successful. So it wasn't breaking up the phrases into two words. I thought it would be, but it isn't. Credit card, pickpocket, insult comic, and MMA fighter. What must they do? Oh, they swipe. Because that's one of the dating sites uses swiping, or apps, I guess. So, yeah, swipe. Is it right or left to show interest? I don't actually know. It must be right, because that's how many. Why would that be specific to? Oh, I see. Because they're swiping correctly. So yes, you have to swipe the card right. You have to, pick the pocket right or well. Okay. I think that must be what that means. Is that what it's getting at? What they must do to be successful. I think that's punnily what it's referring to. You got to swipe right in order to be a good MMA fighter, insult comic, pickpocket, or credit card. That's funny. Okay, I think we've got it. Let's finish this off. Distant correspondent. I'm not sure, actually. Oh, no, I am sure. It's a pen pal. Someone with whom you correspond at great length. Okay, home of MoMA and MSG. Those are both in New York City. So that's the Museum of Modern Art and Madison Square Gardens. So there we go. Bread choice for a Reuben. A Reuben is served on rye bread. And Wednesday's child is full of blank nursery rhyme line. Oh, that sounds kind of familiar, but I can't think what it is. Is it wit? I don't actually know. Wednesday's child is full of, I don't know. Garment worn by the Little Caesars mascot. Oh, a toga. Full of woe. That sounds better. Waxy imprint would be a seal, so you might stamp a seal, a wax seal onto a letter or something to seal it. Tennis champ, Swiatek, Iga Swiatek. I've certainly encountered that name before. Expectant parents selection, a crib. And a Montana city nicknamed the richest hill on earth. Butte, maybe? Critical hospital wing is an ICU. Blood of the gods in Greek mythology is ichor. So often monsters are in sort of fantasy things are described as kind of having that kind of blood too. Like courses with multiple professors. They're co-taught, I guess, yeah. Comedic drum flourish is a rim shot. Yeah, I've never quite understood why this phrase is used to describe that pattern, the kind of because a rim shot in drumming is like more about hitting the actual rim of a snare drum, for instance. But that is how this is referred to. Anyway, the Trojans of the NCAA, USC, I think the University of Southern California is the Trojans. Bond film between Skyfall and No Time to Die was Spectre. And expectant parents selection. Oh, right. So we had crib before, and now we have her name, right? I guess a more important selection. Part of as a scheme would be, I don't know. What about this? Philanthropists or donors. And a group of whales is a pod of whales. There we go. So if you're part of a scheme, you're in on it. I see. And then what an unsatisfied customer might leave behind. They might leave no tip. All right. So that's it. And we've basically gone over the theme, but let's do so again quickly. We've got a theme to show interest on a dating app, or what 16, 25, 36, and 51 across must do to be successful. So what must the credit card, pickpocket, insult comic, and MMA fighter all do to be successful? They must swipe right. And that's our theme. Indeed, this is, as is often the case in an early week theme, we could solve this without paying any attention to the theme whatsoever, because we could answer all of these, including the revealer, simply by responding to the clue as printed. But they're all tied together in that punny way. And there we have it. That was the crossword for Tuesday, October 15th. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow for the midweek, mid-difficulty Wednesday crossword, so do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Tuesday. Take care.